My job this morning, before my actual job, is to put the K-strain on the 2150, and my dealer, which is awesome, Midwest Equipment, was nice enough. They kind of make their own little kit on these machines because the excavators don't come from the factory with a K-strain on them, and this mulcher here, since it's high flow, has a K-strain. But they've put enough of them on that they've actually got measurements and stuff for the hoses, and like a little, well, it's like I said, a kit you can buy, or they put together for us just at a local hydraulic shop that will make this. So, and these are the fittings. Let's see, they thread theirs on instead of using quick couplers, so I'll take this bolt out and just thread these in there, and then on the ends of the mulcher we'll just bolt or take a wrench and tighten them down on there, instead, like I said, instead of having the quick couplers. So I guess it's a little stronger design. But I got 3 lengths of hoses. This longest one is where we're going to start, which is at the swing motor, and then I'll go to the next longest, and then the shorter one will be at the end. And basically what we're going to do is, which I'll jump up there and show you, but we're going to hook it to the swing motor, and then it's going to run out through here and curve around there, and then I'm going to run it up probably around that bigger line, because that's the high flow line it goes to. I'll probably just zip tie it for today. I'll maybe try to find some more of those clamps at some point, but it'll run down here, and then I'll just probably have it zip tied or whatever next to this one. That's where it'll come out at, and then it'll just kind of hang next to there. But what I think, I don't know, they think they actually want you to take it to the hydraulic tank, but the mechanic there, the tech, just told me that the easiest place they've got to is this 90 right here. We'll just pop that out, and then my T will actually thread down in there and go up and down, and then that 90 will hook into the top, and then I'll run my K-strain out the side of the T, and then it will shoot off down through that way. So that is my task for this morning. I'm sure that's going to be the hardest part. It's going to be routing it through here and getting it tied into there, but then the rest of it, you just kind of put the line together and like I said, get it zip tied or clamped to the side. So we'll start with there. That way it should end up the same, or my length that I need will be right, but we'll just start here so we got it all lined up where we need to there. So we'll drag that big hose. I'm going to start routing it through there, and then when we get inside, we'll pop that 90 out, because we'll probably make a little bit of a mess, and then get that T put in, and then just work our way down the stick. So let's get to it so we can go try this mulcher out. And we got 2 different style fittings here. They're pretty much the same, but kind of, this will be the one that hooks to the T, because you can kind of tell where, I don't know what the correct terminology is, but how that's kind of tapers down right there versus this one that's tapered in, and this one's tapered out. So this one will be the straight splice coupler. I don't even know if it's on camera. There we go. That will be hooked the next line to. So this is the one that I will need to thread the T on, because it's got, like, it's kind of where this piece slides in there. And they put it in 3 pieces because they've had guys that they'll run one continuous hose and then they catch it, so it's easier for them. They said if you tear part of it, you got 3 lines to actually take one apart and replace, instead of just having to rip the whole thing back out. So just kind of hook it through there. Okay, let me get some wrenches and we'll just... Okay, that makes it a little easier. And I was back in there far enough. It was just kind of going in the wrong spot. I think we're gonna try to... Okay, well, I'll find a spot. Anyway, I'll just maybe pick it up when I get that routed in there how I want. So I'll probably run it over to here. I'll just show you guys when I get done. That way it's got some slack or some room to curve in there. So to be continued. All right, we got our line snaked through here finally. So right out through there, I ended up taking this cover off. Let's see if I can get in here where you can actually see. And I kind of got it stuck in behind those over there, and then it snakes around. I'm gonna have to try to move it a little bit because it looks like it's going to rub on part of that arm, which looks like some of those do anyways. But I'm gonna go ahead and splice the T in, so that way I know how far I need to pull this before I put these covers back on, because now it'd be much easier. I can just put the fittings in the ends of them and then just run them down the arm. So this is really the hardest part, is getting this snaked in here and getting this where I want it. But I was originally trying to pull it through the other way, but that was going to be a pain, and I need to be able to kind of let this be flexible so it'll hit that T right there. So I ran it through from there and pushed it back up through there was the easiest way I found. So now we'll take that 90 loose and then splice our T in. So yeah, this is gonna make a mess, I bet. Yeah. Yes. Not much I can do about that. No, it's not leaking a whole lot. Okay, well there's what I came up with. We just turn the 90, put the T in it, and then that's my K-string going down, and then move that one back. So it's the best way I come up. It's up against the fill on the swing motor, but if I put it on the opposite, the other side of it, this one with the 90 was hitting the edge of the machine. So that's about all the room you got. So it's not, I mean, it's a pretty clean install. It's kind of messy, but it makes for a pretty clean install. It's a little tight and kind of a pain to get some of those to tighten down, but now we can kind of button this back up. I'll make sure it doesn't have any leaks when I fire it up. I'm hoping I got everything tight enough, but then we can just actually just hook the other hoses on and kind of run it down, and then figure out where we want to zip tie it at. So yeah, that's the hard part, which it's not bad. I mean, it's a little bit of an annoyance just trying to find a good spot to get down in there, but it wasn't terrible. Well, let's get the rest of this hooked up. Well, I think that came out pretty nice. I think it looks pretty good. I just zip tied it to that bigger line, then it runs down, and tried to kind of hide it with it. I'll probably have to find some better zip ties or some sort of clamps or something, because those may snap off there, but should get me going. So now I just got to put the two fittings in here, and then we'll be ready to hook it up and try it out. So I got the new fittings in here, and then these caps just thread off. I have no idea if that's how all these are. I think, or maybe it's me that my dealer just does them this way, but that's how these this mulcher head is just got a thread on fitting. So when I get ready to use it, I'll just have to unscrew this cap and then pop those lines on there. I mean, the other ones may be quick couplers, I'm not sure, but you could still easily now with that fitting threaded in, you could just thread on a quick coupler, I guess, if you get to one of those. But that's how this machine is going to be set up anyways. So now we'll just fire it up, make sure I don't have any leaks up there, and yeah, get the mulcher put on. We'll give it a little test run and then load this thing up and finally get started mulching. So it wasn't too bad. I mean, it was a little bit of a pain, but mostly just because there's not enough room. You almost got to stand on your head to put those fittings together in there, but the rest of it was pretty easy, just running it down the side. So let's get all this stuff cleaned up, hooked up, and see how this dude works. I was gonna show it real quick too, which I don't know how well that even shows up on camera, but I put 3/8 Lexan. Maybe it shows up, I don't know, I need to stand. I think you guys can kind of see that. Yeah, you can see it right here. We just got a piece, I got a full 4x8 sheet, and they actually cut it for me. Like I said, it may not show up very well on camera, but they actually notched it for me so it runs over and covers the whole windshield. And I can't remember if I went over this yesterday or not. It was a long day, but Tak has got threaded holes in here. I'm sure you can buy a guard from them. So I think it's a 10 by 125 millimeter thread, or 10 millimeter to the 125 thread course. But all we did was put those in there, and then I got a piece of I think it's, I don't know, half or maybe 5/8 like rubber fuel line, so that way they could kind of stick out, because they had the windshield wiper and the windshield sprayer deal. But it actually works out nice because I can clean my windshield, and then at night I can actually still open the windshield up and it won't hit that, and you can see out. But I had 3 rocks hit that thing that would have knocked the glass out of if I didn't put that on there. So I am really glad we did that. So a buddy of mine, Dylan, he mentioned it yesterday or night before last, I think. I hadn't even really thought about it, because I had some people tell me, oh, you don't really need it with these mulchers, it throws it left and right. But once I got to looking at they already had the holes and stuff, it was gonna be pretty easy to mount it. And you just had to, you know, just a flat sheet was all you needed. So it actually worked out really slick. And now I can just, you know, bolt them and unbolt them when I'm mulching. Or I'm never gonna get like a hammer, but I guess if I'm doing demo work and I'm dropping my concrete like I've done in the past, may not be a bad idea to bolt them on. But yeah, so now I've got them, and I'm sure you can't even tell them a video and pictures or whatever. You got to really be looking at it, but it's a real clean install. And yeah, it's gonna save me and the glass. So well worth. I think that sheet was a little over 500 bucks, and then the bolts and everything else, I don't know, maybe $550. But yeah, a whole lot better than me getting hit with something or knocking the glass out or anything like that. So yeah, I'm happy we did that. But